Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz on March 10, 2017 at 1:09 a.m. Birmingham. Topic: who's behind all that's going against Trump today? Well, we have those answers. And simple. Three names: FBI, Obama, and Hillary. Snowden'S leaks the other day, he leaked a lot of inventory, a lot of it, more than expected, but yet Edward Snowden did not deliver the kill shot, not yet. This now, and if you haven't thought of it, now it's timed, and it's also based on a defense of Donald Trump. And that's what's happening. And when the time comes, when it's ready for Trump to start making decisions, when he starts getting mad, and I don't know how he's made it this far, but when he's ready to really start making a move, it's just going to be like a good Christian man, like Jesus said, if they hit you, then turn the other cheek, hit me again. Well, you know what? Jesus didn't mean that. That's not how he meant that. And in a literal sense of what he said was not turning the other cheek to get beat up on again. And Trump is kind of, well, I'm going to let him push me around to a point. But when he stands up and really fires back, like I said, I thought we already had the third shot across the bow. Going back, now I think it's two. One was when his wife said the Lord's Prayer. That took everyone off guard, shocked them, but they loved it. I did. And Melania, I hope I'm saying that right. I always do the very same thing. And also her decision again, if you didn't see it, and today on news, her decision on staying where she is, if you read between the lines, naturally, I said a long time ago, she's got her own money. She has her own enterprise, her own businesses. She tends to that. And it'd be easier for her to tend to that in her place of safety. And that's in her neck of the woods. That's in her home. And, but yet you'll see the crooked news attack that just as they will Trump. But with this release from Snowden, really started quietening down some people, because all the news, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, CNN, all are caught in this lie. And the bad thing is, most of them knew it was a lie already. So they just added to it. It's like somebody catching your hand in the cookie jar, and it's still hung in there, and I didn't do it. You know how they would find water out in the fringes of Africa when they can't find it? You know what they would do? And this is a truth. A monkey can't resist brightly colored things. And I watched this talk 25 years ago in multiple ways. One way, you couldn't hold out long enough to follow an elephant to a water, but he knows where it is. And usually it's the matriarch of the old women elephants that know where the water is. But then if you take a handful of jelly beans and you put them in a hole in a tree, and you make sure that a group of monkeys see you do that, not jelly beans, I'm sorry, or jelly beans and salt, put the combined in there. But what you do, when they get their hand in there and grab those jelly beans, they're not going to let go. So they walk right up to them and put a noose on them, and they do not let go until that noose is on them, and then they let go. It's too late. Well, then they'll tie him up right there, and then they'll put a salt lick out. They'll feed him bits of salt because they love salt. After a couple hours, this monkey needs some water, and they're very clever. They do not lead people to water. Except when you make them need it so bad, they'll go to it. And I'm getting off the path, but I'm just telling you. You have the blind leading the blind. Here we are, Obama and Hillary, the number one over the FBI, and why they're still playing their game, I don't know. But apparently, is for a reason that is going to fail on them in a major way. I just heard, too, that there's two sets. Like, crooked people have two sets of books. Crooked governments have two sets of governments. There's a whole second FBI team out there. That's just been disclosed, whether you know it or not. But you will hear more about that, and I'll talk more about that in a later blog. And another thing, Putin went on today, on the 9th, and he said bluntly, pointed bluntly, and he was aggravated, really mad. He said, look, there's three things I'm really ticked at. He said that Hillary Clinton continues to lie to the people in the United States, that Obama still lies to the same people that he's been lying to all along, excuse me, and not only that they are the authors. They're the ones that built ISIS. That's out of Obama's mind, guys. ISIS is their pet project. You will hear more about that with these Snowden. Look, he released so much, they've not touched much of it. But they went to the target points that he released first, which was where they needed to be. And that is who's doing what and who's doing it today. But when you get to the part about ISIS, the creator of ISIS, guys, well, I'll give you a long-term scenario about that later, because the implications aren't good. And as much as I wanted Trump to be the president for 8 full years, it may not be likely, but no one will take him out. Don't get me wrong. God put him in. No man can touch him. But a rapture of the church would take him out. But I believe in order for that to happen, he would have to have been in office at least one day at his second presidential nomination. And after that, I say any minute. So, the future leak from Snowden is going to come up, and that's going to have the names of the Supreme Court justices that's been on the tape. And this just out today. Just today, just happened. March the 9th. Julian Assange, called it Vault Number 7, had a kind of a face-to-face shortwave meeting, and I don't know who with, but you know it's Trump's people, and if not Trump, directly to him. He just released some more kill shots for Donald Trump. So watch for it, listen for it, and listen to it. You're not going to believe what he's got to say. Look, these guys, they're the ones that can make fingerprints, or they caught the ones who make fingerprints look like it's the Russians doing this, when in fact it's not. It's these people over here on our side. What they're doing, make it look like the Russians doing it when the Russians had nothing to do with it. That's in part why Putin blew his cork today at the United States, at Obama and Hillary, not at Trump. Putin still wants to have his peace with Donald Trump, and he'll get it. Trump's not a madman. He's not a raving maniac, and he's not going to go to war over this. So don't think that that's going to happen. He's not. In fact, I don't think you will see a war come out of Donald Trump. There's too many people that respect him out of this country. More people out of this country respect him than the people in this country that should. And why is that? Because the people in this country, they've lost the way, folks. And I hope that they find it before they're too late. Because believe me, they may not have that very last breath with a target in mind to yell out the name of Jesus. It may be yelling out, "Where's my last check?" Get ready. The ride ain't started yet. But from here down, it's going to get smoother and smoother for Trump, his house, his people, and our country. And that is talking about you and me. Jody Wolf Expoz.